All right, I am live. And if you tried to listen in on my last video, yes, hopefully this audio is working now. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to take 2 on this, see if this is actually going to work, but I digress. If it's actually working, I'm going to go ahead once again and wish you a very happy and healthy Easter holiday weekend filled with family, fun, and yes, even food. I'm going to have me some ham, lots of it. So I hope you enjoy every last bit of morsel that you eat during your holiday weekend as well. But if you need a little more convincing, a little more coaxing to actually enjoy your meal guilt-free, I've got your back. I'm here to help you. So here's the first tip. Plan ahead. And I'm saying that because you want to, obviously it's a different scenario than what you're used to during the course of a regular week. You have your plan in place each and every day, but then you come to the holidays, things change. You're going to people's homes, or they're coming to yours, or in this case, you might be going to a nice restaurant where we know the portion sizes and the choices are much bigger and much more different, respectively, than what you're accustomed to at home. But if you plan ahead, you will have a solution for what you need to do in every situation. And what do I mean by that? Stick to your plan that you've been doing up to this point that's worked so well for you up until that meal. Don't change anything. You don't need to prepare in any sort of way. Just keep doing what you're doing. That way you stay on track. You have that meal, you enjoy your meal, you indulge a little bit, and then you get back to it, your next meal, get right back on track again. But again, I equate it to, walking into the grocery store with your grocery list. It's all fine and good, but if you walk in there hungry, guess what? You're going to make poor choices. We all do. You're going to stray away from the fruits and vegetables and go right for the donuts, ding-dongs, ho-hos, all that fun stuff. And a well laid out plan goes out the window because of it. One other thing you can do when it ties into planning ahead is eating in advance. Now, I'm not talking about having such a large meal in advance that you sit down for your Easter meal and you're already full and you can't enjoy anything. What I am saying is just a small meal, light meal, maybe a snack, something that when you sit down, you're not dealing with such hunger pangs and you're so hungry that you just start shoveling food into your face. So again, we're just planning ahead a little bit and we're working a little smarter with our plan to make sure that we don't go too off the rails. One thing that I do on a regular basis, but especially when it comes time to holiday time, is drink more water. I know that sounds really simple and chances are a little silly, but we should be drinking half an ounce of water per pound of body weight anyway, at least. But what happens, to us a lot of times is that when we sit down, we think we're hungry because we're dealing with tumble rumbles and all that. And if you're watching this out there, please give me a thumbs up that the audio is actually working, because I have to do this again otherwise. But what I'm saying is that that way when we sit down to eat and we think we're hungry, in fact we're actually thirsty. And what I do is I'll drink a glass or 2 of water, see if the rumbling goes away because of it. And if not, at that point I'm thinking, all right, maybe I truly am hungry, and I'll sit down to eat. Watch your portion sizes. And again, that ties into not sitting down extremely hungry. But one thing I do with clients of mine who haven't quite yet bought into tracking their food and being a little more meticulous in that regard is to grab a salad plate, not a large dinner plate, but a smaller salad plate. Layer food on there. Whatever you're eating, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you're eating, layer it on there. Don't pile it up high. One layer. Whatever's hanging over the side, you're cutting off. You're not eating that. So if you're having a slice of pizza, let's say, and half of it hangs over the side, guess what? You're cutting off that half. If that slice of ham I'm eating is hanging over the side, I'm going to cut off a piece of that slice to make it fit on the plate. So now, because let's face it, You can overeat on healthy foods. So it's not always just about what we're eating, it's how much of it we're eating as well. Take your time eating. I've talked about this a week or two back on a video I did, where if I were to show you my calendar and you'd see it time blocked off for breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything and anything that I had to do that day, I was going to eat. I was going to take that time to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that way you sit down and you relax and you're not hoovering it all because you're trying to get work done while you're eating, or you have to run your child to his or her soccer game and you've only got 5 minutes. So take the time and be committed to really focused on what you're doing while you're eating. Feel satisfied, not full. One thing I've learned over the years, the second I start feeling even the slightest bit full, I stop. I don't eat that extra bite, which we know becomes 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on down the line. Next thing you know, you finished all the leftovers and you're not quite sure how you did it. Now comes the fun part, because I am actually going to tell you, in a way give you permission, if you will, to indulge a little bit. Let's face it. If you eat, let's say, on average 2,000 calories a day, and you finish the Easter Sunday at 3,000 calories. You're 1,000 calories over. And you're probably sitting there driving yourself nuts and really beating yourself up over the fact that you went 1,000 calories over, because tomorrow you're going to step on the scale and, oh my Lord, I'm going to be 5 pounds heavier. Well, chances are that's not going to happen, number one. And number two, look at it in a bigger picture. It's one meal out of 365 days worth of meals. So if you're good, for the most part, the rest of the year, that one meal isn't going to make one bit of difference. No, it's not. So what you're going to do is you're going to enjoy that meal, then you're going to regroup, refocus, and resume your program the very next meal. Guilt-free. Here's another way. Stay active. Just because it's Easter Sunday doesn't mean you shouldn't hit the gym. Burn some calories. Get that lift in. Get that cardio work in. Burn some calories so when you sit down, when I sit down for that ham, I'm going to enjoy every last bit and more, because I'm continuing to stay active. I didn't spend all weekend sitting on my ass. And finally, forgive yourself. Sounds silly, but what's the first thing we do when we overeat, when we overindulge? We beat ourselves up. Once again, it's one day, one meal out of 365 days. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't mean much at all. So if you can be guilt-free, guess what? You can actually enjoy what you're eating. Have fun with family and friends, kicking back and enjoying a great, great meal. I know I am, so I hope you do as well. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate you joining me as always. This might have been the second or third time for you since I've been having, once again, technical difficulties. I will eventually get this figured out. But either way, I appreciate you guys all joining me, and I hope you have a happy and healthy Easter holiday weekend. I'll see you next time. Take care, folks.